I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter.
This is the Family Show!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. We're in the top half! And this is a special holiday edition of Hunter's Top 100.
It is. From the Thomason family, we'd like to thank you a happy Thanksgiving, because I believe this is coming out on Thanksgiving, unless something breaks.
Hopefully nothing will break.
So, happy Thanksgiving. Doesn't matter what country you're from, we're thankful for you. And other stuff too.
How cheesy.
I know, I'm so cheesy.
Alright!
But it's true.
So let's look at this section of 10. What do we got going on here?
What is going on here?
We got 6 new games.
Okay.
6 new games. 2 games went up, 2 games went down.
This kind of sounds like your universal, this is how a story ends kind of thing.
Some people die, some people live, some people are happy, some people are sad.
Spoils every book. Every time he's like, you want me to tell you how it ends? Every time.
Alright. Let's do this.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this.
Alright. Ready?
I'm ready for this. Bring it. I'm so
My
ready.
number 50 is a game that I haven't played in a long time, and it's slowly creeping down my 100.
Oh.
But I would love to play this game more often. And that is
I'm trying to think of what.
Battlestar Galactica.
Such a good game. I have a feeling that if we have another play of this, it'd go back up.
Yep. We just haven't played this, gosh.
Memories.
It's been at least a couple years, maybe longer, since we played this one. But anyway, Battlestar Galactica, it's a hidden trader game based on the TV series.
Yes, the new Battlestar Galactica.
And you take on a role, and you have like a little special thing that your role does, and you do elections for president, and you do voting on things, you can throw people in the brig, and at some point, there's the
Cylon!
the big reveal, and also there's ways for people to swap sides.
So horrendous.
So yeah, it's
amazingly
It's
horrendous.
a really, really cool hidden role game. It's just one. Has a couple things going against it. It takes at least 3 people, and really more than that if you really
want a good game.
If you want a good game,
the more the merrier with this one.
And with a teach or / relearning and play, we're talking 4-5 hours. So
Yeah, is it really that long? Yeah,
yes.
I guess it is.
It's about a 3-hour game, and then once including teaching and.
Although I think with our group of friends now playing this, I think it'd go faster just because our learning curve has picked up all of ours.
Probably.
I think we could pick this up faster.
That much is true.
Because when we used to originally play this was one of the heaviest games we had.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more work to be like, okay, this is how the game works, and so.
True.
But yeah, regardless, sadly, long game, hard for us in particular to get to the table. Fantastic game though.
Yes.
Some of our favorite gaming moments have come out of this game.
Yep. Yeah, because we used to play this like
A lot.
regularly back in the day,
Yes.
but not anymore. And that's why, like I said, it's kind of creeping down the list.
It's very sad.
It
I'm
is
not
very
sure where that would be on my list now. It's going to be really tough. I have a month to make my list, and I'm thinking about this as you're doing this, going, wow. I'm really wondering where this will land because of the same issue.
I don't know if it'll even be on your list.
I'm not sure.
All right. Anyway, my number 50, Battlestar
Such a good game,
Galactica.
though.
That one actually went up 2 spaces.
The memories have...
I thought it was creeping down, but looking over here, I just looked over here. It's actually gone up. It just because I think honestly the pub meeple that I used to do this, it really makes you think. Do I like this game better than this game?
That's true.
So I guess really it's holding its place, and I guess like you said, it would probably go up if
we had another play of
played
that.
it again.
Yeah, excellent choice. That's a good game to have smack in the middle of your collection. I like that.
All right, onward to my number 49. This may have been our first worker placement game we've ever played.
Stone Age?
No.
Then it's got... Oh, yeah, that's considered worker... You know what? Yeah, this would be.
Lords of Waterdeep.
I did not think about that.
I'm pretty sure this is our
It
introduction
is. This
to
is
worker
our first.
placement.
This is our first one. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
It's just a really solid, great worker placement game with a kind of a D&D theme, kind of lathered on it, and it's kind of straightforward worker placement. Not too much tricks going on here.
Yeah.
You just go a spot and you usually get cubes or
Different colored cubes.
pretty much
You take cubes, give cubes.
Yes.
There's cube trading going on. But actually, I don't know. This is one of those games that, like you said, that the theme is lathered on, but at the same time, if you go and spend time to read like the flavor text and all this
the
stuff on there,
quests and things.
it's got really cool, very thematic stuff going on. It's just, if you just do the actions, sure, you can put any theme on it, I guess, but yeah, this is fun.
And this is definitely with the Scoundrels of Skullport expansion.
So good.
It's a really solid worker placement game. That's the reason it's kind of hung onto my list.
Yeah.
It's dropped 21 spots just because so many great worker placements have come along that I think are better than this, but it's still a solid worker placement. And it's a good transition game potentially for someone who loves D&D. Because they would actually get a little kick out of the flavor text and stuff like that, right? And recognize some of the characters that are in the game and things like that.
That's true. And the reasons you have, like, soldiers and mages and all this nonsense for different scenarios or whatever. I think that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So,
anyway.
Good one.
My number 49, Lords of Waterdeep.
That's a good one.
All right. Onward we go. Another one that's dropped down the list, creeping down the list.
Creeping down the list.
One of Rebecca's all-time favorites.
What?
Let me check a quick look at my list here.
Am I gonna flip this table?
You might flip the table.
Am I gonna flip the table more than your 101?
No.
But you don't know what I'm talking about? You should go see that video.
This used to be, up until last year, I believe, my favorite deck builder. Is no longer my favorite deck builder.
Really?
And that is...
Really?
Core Worlds!
What is wrong with you?
Core Worlds!
This is not your favorite deck builder?
It's not my favorite deck builder. I'm gonna double check that real quick. Hold music.
We're about to have some technical difficulties. You might want to avert your eyes. Why? What?
All right, my favorite deck builder. It is not my favorite deck builder, but it is my favorite deck builder is in this set of 10. Anyway, Core Worlds, great little deck builder game where you're building up an army to go out and conquer worlds that give you victory points for glory and greatness.
This is a smooth game.
Very smooth, very
cool
easy,
theme.
Easy to teach. We learned it really quickly.
The expansions are really cool for this.
The expansions do trick up, and they trick it up in a good way to give you more things to work for and more things to do.
So yeah, if you really like this, get the expansions because that little extra complexity it adds to it is like, mwah, beautiful.
I would try it out before you buy it.
Well, duh, that's what I just said. Come on. No, it's good. It's a good game.
But yeah, no,
Solid.
it's just a great little deck builder game. What more can you say?
Lots, but apparently only, it's only second favorite or whatever.
That's my second favorite.
Your top deck building games are in this low of a...
Yep. But deck builder's not really
I know,
my favorite.
that's my shtick
not really
than
my
yours.
favorite
I'm just giving you
thing
grief.
in the world to play.
It's in your top 100 anyway, period. That's
True.
ridiculous. These are all stupidly good games.
This is a good one.
So I'll let it slide.
Let it slide. Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That was my number 48. It dropped 24 spaces.
My heart. Okay.
All right. Next game.
I don't know if I'm going to survive this.
My next game is one that, I guess the comedic value of the game increases how much I like it. Because, I mean, it's a solid game, but it's not like any wow. But the fact that it's so funny moves it up the list a little bit. It's new to the list. Brand new to the list.
I think I know
We played
this.
it shortly after I made my list last year. And that is The Networks.
Yes.
The Networks.
Yes.
So, what I mean by comedic value is they do puns on different shows,
Oh my gosh,
and it's just, I just think it's funny. You put it has like weird names for all the actors and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh,
and
this
it's just
genius.
But it's really just a kind of a card drafting game. So it's really a pretty straightforward little card drafting game where you're trying to collect, set up different shows in your on your network. And shows maybe they're like you have like 3 time slots, and some shows are better at different time slots. Some actors only want to be on certain, they're better on certain shows. Some commercials will only be used on certain shows, so you got to kind of combo them off each other and build the best lineup of shows. And as rounds go by, the shows age, and eventually you have to move them off and be ready to replace them with new shows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird card drafting, tableau building, almost like an
network building,
engine
time
building,
slot filling bunch of greatness. The theme for this is what kicks it.
That's what I'm
honestly,
saying.
I mean, it's just hilarious. Do you want the orange juice commercial here, or do you want? I mean, I don't know.
And there's an expansion that's coming out. There's already a mini expansion that came out. Now there's another expansion coming out that's going to trick it up.
It's going to be amazing.
So I just like it. I mean, it's just a really smooth, light game, easy to learn, straightforward.
And half the fun is not just racing your opponents, but again, getting the bonus. You're like, yeah, this is the one that goes in the 9 o'clock, and being excited you actually get it in the 9 o'clock slot, and then just looking at your lineup and all these ridiculous name shows, and I don't know, like you said, the humor value is so high on this.
Well, and there is some strategy, like you said there, of getting the right show in the right slot with the right actor with the right commercial.
Bonuses
and you can if you put something in a wrong slot, you get a lesser value, make less income. So comboing those off is like, okay, I need to get this show, I need to get this actor over here to add to the show, and then this commercial I already have is going to work great here. It's just a really smooth little game. It's
super awesome.
Anyway, my number 47, new to the list, networks.
Good pick for the win.
All right, may have to pump up to pick up the next one.
Pitch car.
Yeah, my number 46 is
some of the other heavy games.
The Gallerist.
Woo, muscles. Yeah, that's a beast.
Gallerist. So this is a fairly heavy game. A ginormous Eagle Griffin box.
Exactly. I'll just sit here and advertise.
So, Gallerist, you own a gallery, and you're basically recruiting artists to do paintings for you, to be able to sell. And it's a heavy game. There's a lot of different things going on in this game. If you like a heavy game, this is pretty heavy. This is a heavy, but it's smooth.
Yeah.
Once you know what you're doing and you've played it, it's fairly smooth to pick up. You're just trying to be the most efficient person, and you have little workers that it's worker placement ish. You move your workers around and go to different places. You're trying to attract visitors into your gallery to come visit and see your paintings. It's just a really smooth game.
I like it too. Yeah, there's something about it's oddly addicting after a while because you're like, I must get more efficient. How can I do this? But it's neat too because you're actually bidding on little pieces, mini pieces of artwork. There's actual art in the game.
Yeah.
And you set them up on little easels. I don't know. There's just some little touches to it. You're like, okay, first it's burning your brain, and then you're like, oh, look at this cute painting. I don't know. It's just kind of a fun little, distraction for a moment, and well, it's part of the theme, and I like that. And I like just little touches like that. The fact that some of the tokens are actually ticket shaped. The admission into the museum.
Well, the designer of the game, and he goes over what is his name? Vital Lacerda? Anyway, I'm probably butchering that name. But anyway, he really digs in to his subject and really gets into the details and really makes you feel like you're doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
He makes some of the most thematic, in my opinion, heavy Euro games. So.
Yeah, because it's so easy to just lose the theme when you're working on an efficiency engine, right? Because, all you're doing, you're like, okay, if I move this cube here, then I get this cube, and it turns into this cube, and I want this many cubes. But this, you're actually producing something
there's a
with that.
a flow of what you're doing.
Yeah,
right?
and this is what makes, for me, like, heavy Euros worthwhile.
Right.
Because the generic cube pushing after a while, that gets old, but you can keep coming back to this game.
Right. Yep.
So,
anyway.
good pick.
New one to the list. My number 46. The Gallerist.
Lovely.
The Gallerist.
Not just any Gallerist.
The Gallerist.
The Gallerist. That's right. Lovely.
All right.
Well played. Well played.
My number 45.
Not sure if it's above Core Worlds, but...
My number 45. It's time for another Feld.
Woo!
And that Feld is... Notre Dame.
Ooh, Notre Dame. C'est très bon.
Why would you not want a game where you ride a carriage around town?
Oh! Chauffeur! Pick me up. I would like to jaunt about town. Yes, I'm all over that. Although, aren't you avoiding infestations of rats?
Plague.
Yay, plague! This is awesome!
So,
pick me up faster,
this is another one in the line of punitive Felds.
Woo!
So we got
Plague.
the 10th anniversary edition of the game. It includes
That's so it's out now, is what you're saying. You can find this now?
Yes, oh yeah. And it's
Go get it.
It's basically the same game, but it includes the expansions in the box.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. In the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a card drafting, cube pushing type game. You're just doing a balance between trying to push forward in the game, also at the same time protecting yourself from the plague. Basically, you have to go. There's different ways that you can mitigate that by going to. I think there's a hospital, and there's different things that you can do.
Unclean.
Meanwhile, you're driving around in your little carriage around town, picking up little tokens that give you different benefits and things like that. Just a cool, neat little.
Again, you got to think about all these different things at once, right? And balance.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is you got to cover. It's one of those games like Near the Dragon, which I've already mentioned.
Oh yeah.
It's you got the balance between I want to protect myself from bad things and still try to push forward and make advancements in the game.
Yeah.
And it's that balance. How much of this bad stuff am I willing to take to be able to push forward to get further in the game?
True. Very true. Okay.
But anyway, Notre Dame, it's a cool midweight Feld game. I think it's middle of the road in terms of heaviness. But it is one of what I call the punitive Felds, where something bad is happening that you're trying to avoid. And he puts that in a lot of his games, where you got this thing that kind of off to the side that you have to deal with while you're still playing the game. And almost, I mean, probably half of his games have that going on in them.
Rats. Why has it got to be rats?
Well, it's rats. Like
it's rats in two of them, isn't it?
You get like curses.
Isn't there rats in there's
Dragon,
plague in one of them.
Dragon has events.
There's plague in another one. There's another one with plague.
Bruges has different types of diseases or something. I don't know.
See, I'm telling you,
anyway.
He loves plagues. This guy has an obsession with the plague.
Well, it is like the Middle Ages and Renaissance, right? 14th century. It had all kinds of plaguiness going on back then.
Should have not destroyed the Roman Empire.
My number...
Plumbing's important, people.
45, new to the list, because we just got the new 10th anniversary edition.
Woot woot, go 10th anniversary stuff. Bringing back the Feld.
Notre Dame. My number 44 is new to the list again.
Noodles.
A noodle to the list. Another great Euroid goodness, and that is the amazing box cover of Concordia.
Yes, because chick with grapes, I'm like.
I think this is the
tallest game.
The big games list where I can hide behind them.
I know, that's so true. The shield.
Look at this. Doesn't this make you want to play this game?
Hi, play my game.
Anyway.
She says nothing about the game. Nothing!
So Concordia, this is a
boring
trading the Mediterranean game. Not really.
It's actually not boring. It's really awesome.
So anyway, it's one of those games where you have, it's almost like a kind of a deck builder. You drafting cards. Yeah. It's not a true deck builder, but you draft cards, and basically it's one of those games where you play the cards, but eventually you have to do an action to pull them back, and then you keep playing them. And you're trying to travel all over the Mediterranean, trying to set up little trading hats? Trading? What are they called?
Yeah, not trading posts, were they?
Colonies.
Weren't they colonists? Colony places?
Yeah. Anyway.
Places where colonists go?
But you go around and you're collecting different items and use those items.
Literate. What? I don't remember what they're called.
But it's one of those games where when you go to different places, you're taking different items. Eventually, someone has to make the choice to take money and flip everything over instead of taking items.
So cool with that game. I really love that.
It's got some cool, kind of interesting mechanisms in it.
The map's neat too.
Yeah, there's 2 maps. There's one of the actual whole Mediterranean, and then but if you play 2 players or maybe even 3 players, there's a flip side that where you're just playing on Italy basically. Italy and kind of the surrounding area around Italy.
It's pretty awesome. I don't know. Like you said, I like the option where you can flip stuff and get money or go get these resources, and you want to get a lot of resources and stuff. And I mean, obviously, the cover didn't fool a lot of people because it won a Kinderspiel. Is it the
the advanced game.
Yeah, Kinderspiel des Jahres, something like that. I'm not very good with German.
It's nominated.
It was nominated for it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just nominated for it. Whatever. It made it.
It looks like it won. The way you're making it look like it's won.
3 spiels of the nominated... What? 3 games. There's something in German with a big official seal on it. Makes it say, this game is cool.
I don't know if they would put this all over the box if it wasn't the winner. So anyway, but it's great,
awesome.
Great, straightforward Euro game that has some cool mechanisms. Like I said, the whole card drafting and the playing to get your cards back, and the having to decide whether you want resources or flip and get money. Anyway.
Note to self: learn German.
Concordia, the best box cover ever. My number.
It is the best box cover ever.
44.
Very, very good.
All right. My number 43 has gone up the list.
Ooh.
It's gone up 13 spaces.
13. Okay, so that's fairly significant.
Due to...
More recent plays?
Yes.
Okay. An expansion?
No.
Just playing?
Yes. We played this at the Dice Tower Marathon, and I had a blast.
At the Dice Tower Marathon? Oh, of course. How can I forget that?
Shadows of
That
War.
was the rowdiest, wildest game of Shadows I've ever played by a mile. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
You have to get the dust off of it.
Oh, my gosh.
We only play it at cons pretty much.
That's true.
So we hardly play our copy.
That's true. This is like the go-to con game lately.
Yeah,
we played this at a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So, tell us about what's awesome about this game. Besides the fact that there's a possible, but not always, traitor.
Yes, there's a hidden traitor.
How wild is that?
There's a chance at a hidden traitor. A lot of people play where it's automatically a hidden traitor. But anyway.
It's more fun if you don't know. Because
in the rules, there's a chance there's not a traitor.
Yeah.
Which is funny because then you're accusing each other.
Oh my gosh, the entire
because we played one like
there
wasn't a traitor, and we were accusing each other the whole time, and it ended up being no traitor.
It's like
at some point,
I'll help you.
At some point, the traitor's going to do something, right? And then
no one did anything.
Yeah.
And we were all suspicious of one guy, and it turned out he wasn't even. It was great.
But this is a super kind of straightforward game where you're basically playing poker hands. So you go to different points of the board.
Yeah.
You play down a poker hand of cards, and you basically achieve what's happening. Meanwhile, bad things are continually happening. And every turn, it's one of those games. There's a few games like this where on your turn you have to do something good and do something bad. So you have to do something bad that hurts the team, and then obviously you do your regular action. And a lot of times, based on what you pick for the bad thing, people are like, "Oh, why'd you pick that?" And blah, 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 right? Yeah. So it forces you to look like a traitor every turn.
Yeah.
Even though you're not necessarily the traitor.
Which I think is just amazing because it's another one of those games where there's so much going on. It looks like, oh, you have to be an advanced gamer to play this game, but it's not. Like you said, it's just collecting poker hands. So you can throw anybody down to this game and be like, okay, all we're doing over here is we're collecting a set of 5. All you're doing over here,
right.
And you can help everybody keep track of that. So you don't have to be like superstar gamer or anything to play this. And I think that's what part of the appeal is too, is you can use this game to bring people into these hidden traitor games because you're all talking the entire time and working together, or at least you think. And so, I mean, everyone helps everybody else play too, so I think it's awesome for that.
That's what I was about to say. It's a co-op, so you can basically, there could be a traitor, but for the most part, you can help each other, right?
Yeah.
And kind of work you through. And also each person has a player board that you have a unique power on it, and also on the player board it tells you exactly what you can do. You do this, and then you do this, and it tells you exactly what you're supposed to do on your turn. So it's great. It's just a fun little hidden trader game. And what I was just thinking is, all the times I've played this, and I've had to have played this.
You played it even more than I have.
15 or 20 times. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been the trader.
That's really unusual for you.
I don't think I've ever been the trader in this game. I've been accused of being the trader.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Many times. But I don't know if I've
ever... He does traitorous crap all the time.
I don't know if I would be... I don't know if I've ever been the trader.
I don't never have when I've been playing.
Because I don't have that memory of of being the trader and winning, right?
it's almost obvious when you're the trader now because you're like, I like this game. Yeah, you get so excited. But yeah, no,
Anyway,
I haven't played with you being the trader.
That's my funny. Number 43, Shadows over Camelot.
That's a good one.
And here comes my favorite deck building game.
It better be stinking amazing.
My favorite deck building game. What's funny is this game may have just been replaced by another game. And that is Clank!
Wow.
Clank, which may have been replaced by Clank in Space.
You really like it that much more, huh? The Clank in Space?
Yeah. Anyway, the Clank is my list because I haven't played. I played Clank in Space. After I made the list, I actually worked a Renegade booth at BGG Con, and I demoed Clank in Space. And I don't know if I would buy it to replace this, but if I was given the choice up front, I would have bought Clank in Space. I don't know if they're different enough to own both.
Okay.
But I'm considering maybe selling this one and buying Clank in Space.
It better be a significant...
It has Star Trek puns. And quotes.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Clank.
It has space, like the
no way.
One of the cards that you get, one of the common cards is called a phaser.
That's ridiculous.
And there's one that does attacking, the common card, and there's the common, just like in Clank, there's a common card that's mainly attacking. There's a common card that's mainly movement.
Yes.
The movement card is called Boldly Go.
Dear. Okay. Well, we obviously don't own this game yet.
And the thing that you attack, the monster you attack over and over again is called a goblin. GOBLI1N.
What a bunch of nerds.
G0B. Yeah.
What a bunch of nerds.
Anyway, Clank in Space, a deck building game. Well, Clank on this case. I said Clank in Space.
Oh, paw.
So Clank is a deck building game where you start off with a crappy hand of cards and you build up into a cool hand of cards like in all deck building games.
But this
one you're going down into a dungeon, you're exploring, and you have to grab an artifact and try to get out before a dragon kills you. There's many different ways to play. You can run in, grab the cheap artifact, try to get out quickly and mess people that way.
I do.
Or you can go deeper in the dungeon and explore around and get a bigger artifact and collect lots of victory points.
Make lots of noise.
But then you may not get out. The dragon may eat you before you get out.
I think last time your heels were on fire as you exited. You were so, running around at the last second.
Oh, I was trying to grab healing potions.
Yes, you were grabbing stuff and the dragon was, chasing you out of the building. It was amazing. We like to roleplay it, too, because if you make noise, that's where the clink comes in. You have this stuff and... You have to pull it out of a bag, and if you pull out your cubes, this is when you get in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
So you're like, I'm sneaking down the hall.
Well, the thing is that the cards that give you lots of movement and lots of...
Are noisy.
Are noisy, right?
Yeah, so it's just... Oh, it's amazing. It's so much fun.
It's just a cool little deck building game. I like deck building games that have something else going on, right?
Yeah.
That's probably why I like it more than Core Worlds, because Core Worlds is mostly...
At its heart,
it's only deck building. You're not really... manipulating a board or anything like that. You're not really doing anything on the side.
Conquering worlds.
You're conquering worlds, but there's not a map.
No,
you're not traveling around.
No, you're not trying to be sneaky, and that part of this is what cracks me up more than anything. I think in this is the crud! I just dropped some piece of metal.
And this one has little funny little things, writings on them and things like that. I find that interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just like I said. I'm at the point now where a straight deck builder doesn't really float my boat. Sorry. I need a little something else going on, and this has that.
It does. It's good.
Has other things going on.
That's very good.
So my number.
What is it?
42. New to the list, and probably dropping off the list potentially.
Man, harsh.
Because
Why
Clank, if we do get Clank in space, it would probably pretty much replace this one, I think.
But in its own right, Clank is greatness.
Clank is an awesome game.
Obviously, because it's still your 42. Because it's good. It's that good.
Some point in a near video, we'll do a BGG thing, and I'll talk about the differences and why I like it better.
Ooh.
But anyway, that is not for the now.
But today is not that day.
Not the now.
Not the now.
All right. My number 41, the last one for the list, new to the game. We call it Tilight.
It's pretty.
What?
I said it's pretty.
What?
Eclipse.
Tilight.
Still a monster
Eclipse.
box. Still a good sized box.
Eclipse. It's
so
TI
pretty.
for me and you in about an hour. Maybe a little more, but about an hour.
If I start causing battles to happen, definitely an hour. Less, because I will die.
I would never pass up a TI. I would not step over TI Twilight Imperium to go play this game. But
if you don't have the time.
if you don't have the time,
Oh, you don't have 8 to 12 hours?
and this works fairly well two-player. The only real difference with two players, for the most part, is you take the diplomacy piece out.
We don't need that anyway.
And you just play the game pretty much the same. But what I like about Eclipse is it really focuses in on upgrading your ships and getting new technologies and things like that.
It's fun.
It really it does. You do go out on the board and travel and conquer and fight and stuff, but really it focuses in on technologies and upgrades and things like that.
True.
It's just a cool little space game. It gives the kind of the feel of TI3 and you took TI Twilight Imperium and pulled pieces out, and this is and you're left with a pretty cool game, but you lose a lot of that talky bits that you have in Twilight
The stuff
Imperium.
that takes 8 hours
Yeah,
to do.
the stuff that takes 8 hours to do.
Yeah.
It's got a really smooth, easy combat system. You can focus in on making your ship super defensive, or you can make them really attacky, and you can do all sorts of different things.
I love
and
it.
combat is quick and easy to resolve.
True.
Just got so much going on for it. It's just
game.
a really cool space
We
game.
haven't played this in a while. We need to play it again.
We have not played this one in a while.
And it's a goodie.
It is a good one.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you enjoy, or even the idea of Twilight Imperium, I mean, you can't handle that chunk of time and commitment to it. This is you're right, this is a great, mini replacement for that.
Well, I mean, it can
that.
crank up in game length.
Oh, you can.
If you get up to 5 or 6 players, you're talking.
Oh, it's going to do it.
You're getting up
yeah.
to 3 or 4 hours too. But
again, still half the time the Twilight Imperium takes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Especially if you keep the same player count, easily half.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's solid. And it's space.
It is
And
space.
It's greatness.
It has some cool stuff.
It's great.
It's really, like I said, the tech is what does it.
The tech is really awesome in this.
Well, that is it for this time.
Wow,
that was
already
my
ready to-
number.
wow.
My number 41, Eclipse. Last
good
one
game.
for this list. New to the list.
Good game.
New to the list. All right. Let's give a little preview of next time. Next section is 2 new games. 2 went up. 6 games went down. So this is kind of the section
that makes sense.
the section that dropped to bring in the big hitters that went up the list.
Ooh, we're getting to the good stuff.
We are getting to the good stuff.
All right.
Well, thanks, folks. We'll see you soon.